Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So there's actually some pretty big news that dropped today. Total War Warhammer 3 has been announced. Now we've had a series of these teaser trailers that have come out over the last 3 days. And basically there was a sequence of 3. It was 1, 2, 3. And then after the third one, this is the 4th day, and now we get the announcement that the game has finally been announced that it's going to be releasing in this year, 2021. So what does this mean for Total War going forwards, and what can we expect to be coming from this? Because every new game, there's a whole new host of factions, usually a new playable race that you can have, and there's always going to be a new map. So it looks like, from all of the teaser stuff that we've seen so far, Kislev has been confirmed. So one of the things everybody's wanted most since Warhammer 1, which is Kislev being a playable faction, that has been confirmed, because I'm not 100% certain. I think the chick that you see in the trailer is the Tsarina, and I'm pretty sure that you can declare it's Kislev based off of their clothing style and the fact that they're riding around on polar bears, which promises to be absolutely dope to see. I'm really hyped to see Kislev. It's one of those factions that I've really wanted to see in the game fleshed out. I'm not that big into Total War Fantasy. I don't know a lot about it. I'm not the most knowledgeable on that subject, but I know at least enough from all the videos I've watched since I've gotten into Total War Warhammer to be able to say I'm pretty sure that's Kislev. And if you watch the intro video of the trailer, you get to see the 4 Chaos Gods. You get to see, starting off, I think you get to see Nurgle as the first one, then you get Slaanesh as the next one, who's obsessed, like, I forget what Nurgle's thing is, but he's disgusting as fuck. He's got the maggots in his mouth. Then you've got Slaanesh. Slaanesh is the one who's Obsession. Then after that, you get Tzitzit. I forget what type of chaos one he is, but then after that you get Khorne. And so that's the 4 Chaos Gods. And so basically what's going to end up happening, I feel like, is those are going to be playable factions, because you get to see at least Khornite demons. You get to see certain units that you would expect from a Khorne demon army. So that's going to be awesome if we're actually able to play them. I believe they're going to be playable, because how it's usually worked in the original Total War Warhammer, when that launched, it was basically, I think it was humans fighting against greenskins, and then there was a few dwarves thrown in there, I think, and then there was like a vampire counts thing, but I think they each had their own announcement trailer. But then you get to Total War Warhammer 2, and they're all in the same announcement trailer. I'm pretty sure it's the intro trailer for Total War Warhammer 2. That's the one where we really found out about all of them, because you basically have the High Elves and the Dark Elves fighting over Lustrian ruins, trying to work with the Vortex. And then the Lizardmen pop out and start messing people up. And then basically at the end, you have this rat skittering across, and that was meant to indicate the Skaven. So I think we're going to get something similar here, because if you watch the end of the trailer, there's actually a point at which there's a dude looking down on the map. You see him enter into the tent, and then you see them go out and fight, and you see him still in the room. So when he looks down at the map, you can clearly see Grand Cathay in large letters, which to me means we're going east. So Warhammer 1 was set in the old world, Warhammer 2 in the new world, Lustria, Nagarond, and then you got Ulthuan, and you also got parts of, I don't know what the southern continent is, you got stuff south of Araby, but in Mortal Empires it doesn't exist, whereas in the Eye of the Vortex you have the entire continent. But then let's shift over to what's going to be in Warhammer 3, Grand Cathay. So we're going east. So if you play as the dwarves or something, or as Snitch, or as Malice Darkblade, or as, who's Imric. All of those people, there's going to be more stuff further east of them now. And them going east actually opens up a lot of potential for us to get some interesting factions, like Ind, which doesn't, I don't believe they have an army in the tabletop. So basically it'd be Creative Assembly creating a faction, so that's a possibility that could happen. Then, if we're going east, we know we're going to get the ogres. We know we're going to get the dark dwarves. I mean, or chaos dwarves, not dark dwarves. I mean, there's so many different things that are potentially being added to the game right now, which are just incredibly awesome to see. So far, it's just an announcement trailer, so there's not much that we can really base it off of in terms of, is there's going to be new emphasis on gameplay, like is Magic going to be getting some changes? Because the difference between Magic and Warhammer 1 and Warhammer 2, they actually made it more user-friendly in Warhammer 2. I'm pretty sure it's in a great state now. I don't think many people have a lot of complaints about it, since we can now change the direction of our wind spells, which was really annoying in Warhammer 1, and they fixed in Warhammer 2. So we'll see if they have any changes like that coming along the way. But it's really great news for anybody who's a fan of Total War because it's been basically a 2-3 year drought. Because when was Three Kingdoms released? It's released it's released 2019. So if that was released in 2019 and we basically had 2 years removed from it, and then they had the Troy saga or whatever, there really hasn't been anything for Warhammer. There's been DLCs, there's been a few things here and there, but now we know for certain we're going to be getting Warhammer 3 within the year, and that's something that's incredibly awesome if you're a fan of Total War, especially Total War Warhammer. Because I know there's a lot of people who are fans of Historical, I know there's a lot of people who are fans of Warhammer, and I'm a fan of both of them. And the fact that we're getting another Total War game, and they've already talked about in previous iterations of the game how they want the entire world to be together. So Warhammer 3 is the last piece of the puzzle that we're going to get. So imagine it, the first puzzle piece is the old world, the next puzzle piece was Nagaron and Lustria, and Ulthuan, and now we're going to get the last part of the map. We're going to be going east. So to me, this could mean a lot of cool things. One thing it could mean is there could be changes to starting positions for legendary lords. So for example, it would make a lot of sense to me if you would move Lokir Felhart from where he is in Lustria and put him over in the east by Cathay and Ind, because his special legendary weapons are the Red Blades of Ind. And so he has this story where he's supposed to go there, find an idol, and melt it down, and then he turns that into his Red Blades that have incredible armor-piercing capabilities. So I think it would be interesting if they swapped it up like that, because currently how Lokir is set up, he basically has to go from Lustria all the way up to Nagaron in order to take a territory, and then he gets his Red Blades. And I just think there's a lot of potential for them with them filling out the rest of the world, for them to do some interesting things and move lords around into different places. I think that would play really well. They didn't do that going from Warhammer 1 to Warhammer 2, but who knows? We'll see. But this is massive news. There's not... Like, you can confirm you're going to have the Chaos factions, and we're going to have Kislev. So, we haven't seen the rest of the Chaos armies. We've only seen the armies of the demons of Khorne, Khornite demons. So, we can't necessarily say for certain what they're going to look like, but a Nurgle army promises to be absolutely horrifying. I mean, all of those Chaos gods, it's going to be interesting to see how they play in the game. Like, is the Legendary Lord going to be the Chaos God themselves, or are we going to be getting, like, a higher tier demon who's leading them in the name of the Chaos God, and maybe we can summon them to the battlefield? I don't know. There's a lot of potential for interesting situations, honestly, but this is, like I said before, this is great news for anybody who's a fan of Total War. This means there's going to be a bevy of new content for us to be able to get out on the channel, and I, as somebody who likes to stream Total War, play it, I think I'm going to be talking about this one more because I really want this one to be a staple for the channel, because Warhammer 3 is what I've been waiting for years. Like, the first iteration, Warhammer 1, I believe, came out 2015, 2016. Let me think. I think it was 2016 it came out. The 2017 Warhammer 2 came out, and then we've had basically 4 years without getting Warhammer 3. So the fact that we're going to be getting Warhammer 3 is just incredibly awesome to me. We know where it's going to be. We know we're going east. Like, almost all the predictions that everybody has had have almost proven to be correct at this point. So we'll see what ends up happening. We'll see if there's any more news that drops this week. But this week has been great for news. We got the announcement of the Mass Effect Legendary Edition coming out May 14th. We now know that Warhammer 3 is coming out sometime this year. And if I'm a betting man, I'm going to say probably around August or September. I believe that was when Warhammer 2 was released. Warhammer 1 and Warhammer 2 were pretty close in terms of their release schedule. I believe Warhammer 1 was released in June, around the same time the Three Kingdoms was. So we could be seeing early summer, potentially, but if it was early summer, you would suspect that they would have given us a date, because, like, they could project that it would be done by May or June or something. So maybe we'll be seeing September or August, but I'd be surprised if it drags on into October, November, December. But hopefully we'll be getting it before October, November, December. But regardless, I'm very thankful for the devs, the people at Creative Assembly, for putting in all this work and effort and making all these games connect, because there's nothing worse than getting a new game and then not really having it connect to the old game, if that makes any sense. Like, the fact that they're all together and they reward you for buying all the games by having a massive campaign that is exclusive to somebody who's owned all the games, awesome to me. So there's going to be a lot of new stuff coming out on the channel. When this stuff drops, the more news that comes out about it, I'll be definitely reporting on it. And I'm looking forward to my cousin and I starting a multiplayer campaign. So he hasn't been playing games for as long periods of times, but maybe we can just plot like a day or two here and there where we can just grind through a massive campaign and just have a lot of fun with it, because I am so excited for this type of game. I can't express how hyped I am. It's awesome. It's going to be amazing. Just to be able, because it's the part of the world that I've wanted to see. I'm not a huge nerd on Total War Fantasy. Like, I don't know anything about it. Like, my knowledge on it is pretty low. It's what I've seen from YouTube videos and stuff. And playing the game has got me incredibly interested in it. And the more I play, the more I want to find out about it. And so Cathay, Ind, the Chaos Dwarves, Ogres, all of these things, I want to discover what they are. As opposed to, I figured out the Empire, I figured out the Dwarves, I figured out the Vampire Counts, I figured out the Vampire Coast, the Lizardmen, the Dark Elves, the High Elves, the Wood Elves, the Beastmen. Like, I figured these things out because I've played as them, I've gotten interested in them, I've watched lore videos on them. But now I really want to see lore videos and stuff on these new factions that potentially are going to be in the game. So it opens up a whole new realm of content for everybody surrounding Total War. And to me, that's just awesome. I just want to be a part of it. And thank you guys for checking out the channel. And just know, I will be playing more Total War, trying to get myself prepped, trying to get better at the game, because I can play very hard difficulty pretty easily. I'm not going to have a lot of problems there. But the problem is I want to take it to the next level. I want to be able to do it on legendary difficulty. And that's going to be where I can do better guides and help people and tell them what to do better. But ultimately, let's take it a step back. What does this mean? What are the mechanics going to be like in Warhammer 3? I don't think anybody can say for certain yet. There's a question as to whether they will adopt some of the systems that they implemented in Three Kingdoms, because the systems like diplomacy, trading territory, the number system for doing diplomatic deals, all of those things are incredibly good in Three Kingdoms. Stealing weapons from lords, getting other lords into your faction that you've beaten in battle. All of those things are really cool, and they've only been in Three Kingdoms. I don't think we're going to be getting some of those systems. Like, I don't think we'll be able to recruit a legendary lord that's not from our race in Warhammer 3. But potentially, they could take the weapon stealing system, and that would be massive if that was the case. I think they should take that system in, but I bet you they're going to go rework diplomacy so it's numbers-based like Three Kingdoms. Like, there's a slew of things that they could do to make the game even better. So, we'll see. I'll keep an eye out. I'll keep you guys posted. There's so much news coming out about gaming right now. Basically, I'm just waiting for them to announce Far Cry 6. That's going to be happening soon. We know they're going to be releasing a new Assassin's Creed this year. And if it's not this year, it could have been pushed back because of COVID, but we never know. So potentially it'll be released this year, probably sometime September, October, November. So there's a lot of stuff to look forward to if you're a fan of games, and specifically if you're a fan of Total War, because it looks like this is going to be the final piece of the puzzle. We're going to get it. We're going to get a whole new side of the map. And then they can basically, after that, once they've got the map fleshed out and put together, and you, like, if you have all three games, all that they have to do then is add DLC. And they can add DLC anywhere they want to in the world. Like, they can add Ind, they could add Araby, they could add the Amazonians. Like, there's so much potential to what they could do now. They could even change, like, the ending sequences where Chaos comes in and fights, because they could change it so it's Archaon, another, like, they could give you, if you're not playing as Chaos, they could make the other 4 Chaos gods and Archaon all storm the world at once. There's so much potential to what could happen here. So I'll let you guys know when new news drops. I'm keeping my eye on the Total War Twitter, YouTube, all of that stuff, trying to stay abreast of the situation, and I'll let you guys know anything that happens. Hope you guys had a great day and enjoyed this content. There's not much more left for me to say, except I am incredibly hyped for this game, and hopefully, since Mason's got the better PC, we'll be able to play it even quicker and get those saves through and load through the turns even quicker, because now he's running on an SSD. He's always had great internet, but now he's actually got the capability for the game files to move faster. And so, man, this is awesome, man. I'm just incredibly hyped for this. And if you've never been a fan of Total War, if you've never gotten into it, but you have a gaming PC, I would definitely suggest getting into Total War at this point. Total War Warhammer 1 and 2, fantastic games. They're probably going to be on sale here at some point. Definitely for the summer sale, they'll be on sale. So if you can't get them yet, if they're too pricey because all the DLC, there's a lot of cost associated with it, definitely wait for a sale, and I would suggest get it, because this is massive news. It's going to be an absolute blast, and I'm incredibly excited about it. So see you guys next time. Hope you had a great day and enjoyed this content. I'm out of here. I'm going to probably be playing a little bit of Total War, but I got a few more videos that I got to make first. So I'll see you guys next time. Hope you had a great day. Peace.